So I'm currently elbow deep in doing the time belt on this 200 TDI Defender, and I haven't recorded the whole process, but I just thought I'd do a video on a few little pointers for you. So first thing, there are two kits for these 200 TDIs. This is a Defender engine specific, so the time belt is actually different than on the Discovery. On the Discoveries you have a static idler about here, whereas clearly this doesn't. So make sure you get the right kit. Timing marks are, there's a pin that goes in the injection pump there. I don't have it on me at the minute, but when you look up it will be apparent anyway. I've marked with Tip-X here. This Woodruff key here lines up with this arrow, but I've marked it so it's easy to see anyway. And then here, I don't know if that's going to come through, there's a bit of a divot on the camshaft sprocket there. That lines over that arrow there. And like I say, that's in the correct position currently for the pin to go in there. The flywheel does get locked by another pin that will go in that hole there. It'll just thread in. Once it threads all the way in and you got that pin in, you know you're correct. You shouldn't need to force it at all. Before you remove your timing belt, once you've got all your marks in the right place, got your pins in and everything like that, what you're going to want to do is slacken these 3 bolts here. What that's going to allow it to do is for this pulley to move independently of the pump, because when you put it all back together you want the pin about to go in there really easily with everything all lined up, and of course the other pin on the flywheel in there. So essentially, like I say, slacken these 3. I'm going to do this bolt here for the tensioner. Take that away, make sure it all stays there. And when you're putting the new belt on, make sure you don't get any slack between these 2 pulleys here, because if you do, it's not going to be right no matter how well you do the tensioner. So there's little free play as you can here and along here, but when you put it over the pump pulley, you want this turned as far clockwise as you can, and then take the tension over there, just pull it taut, and then turn that as little as possible. And then when you go around here and you put your tensioner on, there's a square drive hole just there. You're going to pull that to 20 Newton meters, and then whilst you're holding out at 20 Newton meters, which is harder than it sounds, you're going to do this up to 45 Newton, and that's going to allow this pulley to move a little bit. What you're then going to do, once you've got everything on there as it should be, you're then going to put I believe it's a 22 from memory. If your pin doesn't go in there easily with the pin underneath already in there, you're just going to turn this either way until it goes in and out easily. That will then allow the pump to be perfectly timed with everything else. Once you've got it there, bit of blue Loctite on these bolts, and they're 25 Newton. Yeah, and then after that it's just turn the engine over twice, 2 crankshaft revolutions to 1 on the cam and the pump, and your pins should all go back in there nice and easy. If not, just readjust here like before. yeah, other than that, just make sure you clean your gasket service like you would on anything else really. That's kind of the only real pointer I can give you. I hope that all made sense. The other thing I will say is though, if you're doing this for the first time, you haven't got to this stage yet, all these bolts for the timing cover, put them in order in a piece of cardboard, because as you can see, they are all different lengths, and it's going to be really painful if you muddle them up. Ask me how I know. The only other thing I can say is on your actual timing cover, make sure you replace your seal. It should come with the kit. It looks like this. This is the old one. It doesn't actually seal oil or water or anything like that. It's just literally a seal so that crap don't go in past the crankshaft, really. That's kind of the only pointers I can give at this point. If I think of anything else, I'll make another video, but hopefully I helped you out. Cheers.